Long time no see, gamers. Hope you're doing well. Hope your wives, hope your children, hope your mothers, hope your fathers, hope your family's doing well. Happy holidays to you if you're watching this early. If it's like in the middle of June next year and you're watching it, I hope you had a happy holiday. I don't know. Anyways, it's been a while, and I apologize for the delay. Apologize for being gone for a little bit. Real life, stuff anyway. Also, I haven't really been much on like the Resident Evil, honestly, editing as well as uploading because I've been addicted to a couple of games recently. A couple of games that, I play. I get burnt out on pretty easily, but Tarkov and, more importantly, topic of today's video, Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Dude, if you would have told me in 2015 after Black Ops 3 we'd be on Black Ops 7, I'd lose it right now. Anyways, Black Ops 7, it's been out for a little bit. I think a little over a month now. I don't remember when it came out, but I've been playing a ton of it, and I've really been enjoying a lot of the aspects of the game, and I just wanted to talk to you guys, let you know, like, the highs, the lows, everything now that the honeymoon period's over. Everything, like, after letting it marinate for a little bit. I don't want to make an immediate reaction video because I followed the hype train really easily. I'm the type of guy that's like, Black Ops 7 comes out in the first 3 days. I'm like, this is going to save Call of Duty. So I let it marinate, played a ton of it, and now here are my thoughts. I will go ahead and get the bad out of the way with Black Ops 7, and that is the campaign. Full disclaimer, I only played the first 2 campaign missions, but I feel like that was more than enough to dissuade me from wanting to play any of it again. The synopsis of it seems pretty cool. Now, granted, I don't know much about spoilers because I haven't played the full campaign and kind of been ignoring everything on the internet, but the synopsis of it's a follow-up to Black Ops 2, it's a direct sequel. Mason's in it, Harper's in it, which is kind of weird because I felt like the canon ending would have required you to kill Harper, but that's Black Ops 2, we're not worried about that. Michael Rooker makes his return, fantastic actor, I love seeing him, love hearing him back. A couple new additions to the team, but anyways, one of the biggest selling points of Black Ops 7's campaign is that it's co-op. So essentially you're in a fire team. It's Mason, Harper, and canonically one operator called 50/50 and another called Samuels. But more importantly, I want to talk about the story that I've experienced in the first couple of missions. So, of course, it brings in aspects from the newer Call of Duty since Black Ops 2, like the Guild from Black Ops 6. They're what seems to be the primary antagonist. You're deployed on a mission, Mason and his team. This is the first mission, like the tutorial, essentially. You're deployed on a mission to go raid a guild laboratory to find out what they're cooking, right? You set explosives, and you get trapped in a room where the main antagonist lead, I guess, the CEO of the guild, Emma Kagan, is like, oh, I've got you guys trapped. Now you're going to be victims to my new experiment, and it's like a fear gas, essentially. Not 115, not 115, that's obvious. Not Nova gas, but some hallucinogenic thing. I'll just call it fear gas. And this fear gas, our team gets exposed to it, and then they start hallucinating. Now, Mason, the team lead, he has this thing called a C-Link, which is like a contact device where this whole squad can see what he sees. So I'm under the impression all these hallucinations are originating from Mason because the first hallucination is Menendez. Menendez, of course, primary antagonist of Black Ops 2, did a lot of evil things. Mason can either kill him or spare him in the end of Black Ops 2. I believe canonically he kills him because there's a voice line later on down the line where it's like, you saw me kill him, so I'm going to say that's canon. That Mason kills Menendez, and then after, there's like a whole broadcast that plays. But anywho, Mason hallucinates, and apparently the whole squad hallucinates. I think it's just a ploy to have the co-op campaign characters come in. But then they hallucinate a boss fight with Menendez in the first mission.
Suffering only brought us closer together.
Fuck you.
Now you suffer with me. I feel your fear, Tabby. Arise, soldiers. It is time to fight.
And the second that happened, and I saw Menendez had a crazy high health bar, I said, "Are you serious, man? Is this what we're getting into? Is this what Call of Duty campaigns are now is a very poor lead up into a boss fight for every mission. I took it with a grain of salt, beat it, and then I moved on to the second mission. And honestly, the second mission was not that much better. Second mission, you're deployed into the entire region of Avalon, aka the new Warzone map, and you're directed, hey, go to this location, do this thing. And it's so open world because you're given like the entirety of the map to play around in, but you're just given a POI to go to. It just feels like a ploy for Warzone. It feels like, hey, we're going to, soft launch this new map within the campaign and see how people like it. And I hate that. I love my linear Call of Duty campaigns where you have to follow literally like essentially a hallway of killing things, but you're given so much lore. That doesn't exist in Black Ops 7. Now, granted, there is intel, oddly enough, in the entire region of, the Warzone map, Avalon, but it doesn't make up for it. Specifically, something I want to mention in the second mission is you are given you have to go through a town to get to this POI to reach Karma, your rendezvous. You can just go around the entire town and not fight anybody, or you can literally straight up just wingsuit and dive around everybody, avoid any fighting, and just get to the cutscene, which feels cheap. It's a great speedrunning strat, so I'll probably speedrun the rest of the campaign and get the story, whatever there may be, but I have such a problem with the gameplay of the campaign. Now, I know we're in today's, gaming society where what sells is a big boss health bar. I mean, even in zombies, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but the zombies' Easter eggs aren't even Easter eggs anymore. They're just preludes to a big boss fight with a bullet sponge enemy. And it feels so dumbed down and simply basic gameplay mechanics like that dissuade me from wanting to do those things, like co-op campaign. If it were something like World at War, where there is a gritty story to tell, get me in there, dude. After one of the darkest campaigns in COD history with Black Ops 2, the direct sequel, I wanted it to be something there so bad. And again, the synopsis of the game, essentially Mason dealing with his PTSD, I felt like was such a good thing to do. But it's executed so poorly that after the second co-op mission, at the end of it, Mason, because he still has the gas in the system, and his team, they start hallucinating that Woods is alive. And Harper's like, Mason, Woods is dead. And Mason's like, I gotta go help him. Which, if it were told, the same story were told in a different manner, I would be all over it. But truthfully, the co-op campaign, I couldn't get myself through more than an hour of it, dude. I was just so disappointed, to say the least. Following up on that, it's fully released now, but if you beat all 11 co-op campaign missions, you got access to the mode Endgame. Endgame, essentially the extraction shooter for Call of Duty now. Think of it as Modern Warfare 2's DMZ mode, plus, I don't know, Arc Raiders? I don't know. But Endgame, at its core, it seems like a pretty cool mode. I mean, extraction shooter is just a loose term I'm using, but it seemed pretty cool, so I gave it a shot and I played one game. And my biggest disappointment was that it is entirely PvE. There is no PvP aspect to it. So I launched in, squad fill turned off, because I wanted to be solo against as many human enemies as I could. I wanted to do my thing, but also have to worry about, their only real threat in the game mode, human enemies. That doesn't exist. I was at a POI, I was completing a task, and I saw a person pop up on my radar, and they were a blue dot. I was like, oh, don't you tell me this is what happens. I tried shooting him and nothing happened. Even afterwards, I tried to go hunt down another squad, pulled up on them, they were doing a task, and I completed the task with them. Endgame, again, it gives you the whole region of Avalon, it gives you the entire Warzone map, except it's all PvE, and you have to go do certain missions and stuff to get better gear, better skills, whatever. Which, for a 10-year-old whose first experience is Call of Duty, I feel like it's a good learning curve. You're going up against purely AI enemies. You're learning the Warzone map because COD wants to push Warzone more than anything else. But it's not for me. I want some bit of competitiveness to it, not just, hey guys, let's all work together to go into the highest tier zone, because that just seems too easy. So Endgame, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it a C. Co-op campaign gets an F, by far. Far and away. F. F- if I even could. Endgame, I'll give it a C, with the only pro of it being it's good for new players. It's not competitive at all. You're just chilling, you're vibing. Multiplayer, however, multiplayer is so fun. I know one of the biggest advertisements was like the whole open matchmaking, minimal skill based matchmaking. And with season one coming out, they're like, oh, based on a lot of feedback, which I mean, there's communities getting up into a swarm about it, but multiplayer is fun. In all of, season zero, I guess if you want to call it that I've played it, it is so much fun. The maps, most of them are so good. There's a couple that are just like, I will not play this. If it shows up, I will leave the lobby. But the old COD feeling of getting into a lobby, absolutely wrecking kids, staying in that same lobby to talk trash back and forth, that vibe is back. And me being a big trash talker, I love it so much. The guns feel nice. The gameplay feels nice. There are a couple, as of right now, broken guns, like the full auto shotgun Akita. It's so fun to use against people and get them pissed off, and getting used against you. It's COD, right? Like, I'm not going to complain about every little weapon balancing issue. But multiplayer is so fun, and there's so many unique things to it. Like, for example, there's a wild card called Specialist, which instead of score streaks, you get your perks, like in the Modern Warfare series. And that is amazing. I haven't tried it yet because it's a high level unlock, but I played so much multiplayer and I've loved it so much. Zombies, I like zombies a lot. Oh, I guess I'll go back and I'll give multiplayer an A-. Not perfect, but amazing. Now zombies I feel like is fantastic as well. Now, again, season 0, we only had access to Ashes of the Damned, which is essentially a version of Transit with new POIs. And then you get survival on farm. And another thing you get is cursed mode. Cursed mode is insane. And I'm like, cursed mode is what puts zombies at an S tier for me. So lately in zombies, you get your loadout, you come into the game equipped with your starter weapon, what you pick, an AR, a shotgun, LMG sniper, whatever. Cursed mode, you don't do that. Cursed mode, you get the base pistol, the Jaeger 45. And also in cursed mode, you get points classic. You don't get points per zombie kill, you get points per bullet hit. Which, again, bringing back the Akita, is so fun to use, dude. You can point horde the entire set of Cursed with the Akita, and I love it so much, dude. Cursed, essentially, what differentiates it aside from those gameplay mechanics is that after beating the Easter egg on Ashes of the Damned, you are able to unlock relics in cursed mode. Relics, you have to go through a series of trials. You have to discover them first, and then go through a series of trials, and then you unlock a relic, which limits your gameplay even further. There's relics that limit you to only 4 perks, like classic COD. There's relics that, I'm trying to think of all of them, where it's like, power-ups get disabled. That's another one. I believe there's another relic that, now that we're in season 1, the new maps come out and there's new relics, there's one that disables the mystery box. And it's things like that that are so fun, that spice up the zombies gameplay on top of how fun it is in Cursed. And I love it, dude. Now, I will say, how I mentioned earlier in the campaign, where it's just nothing but boss fights and stuff, the Ashes of the Damned boss fight is so annoying. Hard is one word, but I'm going to use the word annoying. Because it, again, is a bullet sponge enemy that you just have to go through waves of surviving it and dealing damage. But what really, really ticks me off with the Ashes boss fight is that you are required to use the vehicle that you traverse the map with, Old Tessie in Ashes. It is I don't even want to say the key, but it's the only thing you can really use during the boss fight. You have to ram it with the truck, and then you have to use a turret on top of the truck to deal damage. Now, technically, yes, you can use bullet weapons to deal damage, but it's literally so inconsequential that it doesn't matter. So, being forced to use the new mechanic in, again, a boss fight, it just really dumbs down the experience of it for me. So, like, Ashes, even though I love what's happening with the story, like the overarching story with zombies, with the old characters, but new versions, like new dimensions of them that we're unfamiliar with, the big boss, the Warden, I love this guy, dude. I love the Warden, but a lot of the mechanics in the Ashes boss fight, or just in Ashes period, requiring the truck, it dumbs down the experience so much for me that, it's not as fun. But the new map that recently came out, Astra Malorm, actually beat the Easter egg last night. again, same deal. The Easter egg steps are actually fairly easy, but when you get into the boss fight, it's just a bullet sponge enemy, and that's kind of lame. I was even talking about it last night with some friends. I was like, I wish they would have bring it back where like there is no real boss fight, but like, major, story revelations and stuff like that. Things like Moon from Black Ops 1, or I'm trying to think of another great Easter egg. Origins was also a great one. Because that one technically wasn't really like a pure boss fight, I would say. But it required a high level of survival, and as a kid back in 2012, it was insane. But I mean, 2013, I guess. But I really enjoy zombies, and I'm like, honestly, that's where I'm spending most of my time, is just leveling up guns, things like that. Oh, I guess another thing I'll add is they brought back prestiging weapons. You can prestige weapons twice, and then you get master prestige on the weapon, which there's not really a reason to do that aside from camos, I guess. But yeah, no, that's a super fun mechanic as well. And camos, that's the one thing that I'll essentially leave off on, is camos, and camo grinding is more prevalent in Black Ops 7 than it ever has been in any Call of Duty before. And I get, completionists, 100%ers like myself, we want to go get every camo, but I feel like I don't think tedious is the word, but it's something that they're just throwing in with, which again, I'm grateful that they're adding new things to keep the gameplay alive, but it's such a chore. Like, there's camo challenges for the co-op campaign / endgame mode that I'm not going to do, man. I'm not going to endure all of this endgame mode to get, a variant of a gold, a variant of a diamond. And then apparently, recently discovered by Reed Boy and some other people, there is a secret completionist camo after you get the mastery camo in all 4 modes: campaign, endgame, multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. You get like the master completionist camo, which it's cool that that's a thing, and I'm glad they finally added that after years of not doing it. But I'm not doing that, man. For a yearly release game, I'm not putting the time for that. But anywho, long story short, Black Ops 7. I've had a ton of fun in some game modes, a couple others not really, but I can see the lure for some people. Regardless, though, I want to start streaming it some more. Truthfully, I've just been kind of like offline, like grinding, just running around zombies in circles and shooting them in the head and stuff. But I'll probably be streaming it a lot more. So if you guys, want to come by and say hi, I always got my Twitch and everything down in the description, but I don't want to solicit it. I don't want to solicit anything from you guys. I just want to greatly appreciate you. And see, this is why when I don't script things, I say stupid things like I greatly appreciate. I don't even think that's what I said. I don't know. I do greatly appreciate you guys, and I want to thank you guys for enduring my yapping session up until this long for a video game that most people probably don't even care about anymore. But with that being said, I love you guys. God loves you guys. And hopefully I'll see you real soon in the next one. Peace out, Texies.